guys? It's your boy Reed's DFS here, coming at you with another night of games. Got, I believe it's 8 games on the slate. Let me check just to make sure. 7 games, I should say. So you see them all right there. The Minnesota-Sacramento game just isn't showing. But anyways, let's get into it. As I said the other night, 3 players at each position, kind of a high value guy, mid and low. So without further ado, so the high value guy I like tonight is Oladipo against Miami. Oladipo's been on a tear lately. See, last game he had 65. The last 10 days he's been averaging 50. So 9,000 just seems way too cheap for him. And as you can see here, Miami's defense just isn't very good, especially against point guards, and I think this could be a good night for Oladipo. So kind of down the middle, I like Fox here, just because, again, he's been playing well too lately, and on RotoWire I was looking, and I think Minnesota's defense is third worst against point guards, so they've been giving up like 96 fantasy points, so it's atrocious. So I think that Fox should have a good game. And then kind of a value guy. It looks like both Dragic and Wade are out. So personally, I like Tyler Johnson at 4,300. Should draw a pretty good value here. 4,300. Last game he played 31 minutes. And he got you 25 fantasy points. So I could see similar minutes there for Johnson. So even if he does get 25 at 4,300, that's just great value. That's almost 6x value. So we'll go to shooting guard. And then kind of the highest value player I like here. Personally, I like Bradley Beal at 7,800. I think he just draws a great matchup against Orlando, who isn't the best defensive team in the world. And Beal, you see, he just gets a lot of minutes. Great shooter. He's not been playing well. You see 1 for 9, 1 for 7, 4 for 12. Not too bad these last 2 games, but he hasn't been shooting the ball well lately. But I expect that to go up, especially against the suspect Orlando defense. Middle of the road, personally, I like Buddy Hield. I know it's not a great matchup against Minnesota, as you can see right there, but I think he could go off just because of the sheer fact how good he's been playing lately. You can see he takes a lot of shots, as we can see here. He takes a lot of shots. Decent rebounder of the ball. He'll get you some assists every once in a while. Not really quite triple-double potential, but Buddy Hield's a pretty good player. So I like Hield there. And then as far as logos, I didn't do a lot of research on the low guy just because there's not a lot of great ones. But I like Dinwiddie here just because of the value. You'll hear me reiterate value. 4,600, averaging 25 a game. So I just like the value there. And not the best matchup against Denver, but I think he has the potential to do pretty good. Maybe get 30 fantasy points if you're lucky, and that would be more than all right. All right, so we'll go to small forward. This is probably going to be who I actually choose in most of my lineups. It's probably going to be my most common play of the night. I like Aaron Gordon against Washington tonight. Just Washington is just they're a dumpster fire right now, and Aaron Gordon's putting up 16 and 8. We could see him getting 20 and 12 tonight, just against this really bad Washington team. So I like him to go off for upwards of 40 or 50 tonight. And then maybe a lower value guy, kind of middle of the road. I like JJ Redick. Redick he's an older guy. He's been in the league. I can't even remember how long. Ever since I was probably like 9 or 10 years old. He's been in the league forever. And I just like how many shots he takes. And he can get you some rebounds and assists here and there. So I like Redick there. Then low guy at small forward. I like Jaylen Brown, another guy who having a down season for Brown, but he just doesn't get the minutes he was used to last year. He was a starter last year, getting like 36 upwards of like 38 minutes a game, and nowadays he's getting like 28, 29, 30. So sad to see, but again, he takes a lot of shots. You see 14, 14, 13, and then he'll get you a lot of rebounds, especially for the position he normally plays the 2 or the 3, depending on what lineup they go with. So I like Jaylen Brown, kind of as a low value guy. And this is where it gets interesting. Power forwards, there's not a lot of good ones. You see there's that drop off from Griffin to Gordon to Tatum. So this is kind of going to be, I'll say this is the position that might not be the best tonight, to say the least. But anyways, I like Blake Griffin tonight going against an awful Atlanta defense, an awful Atlanta team. At 10,000, it just seems a little cheap for Griffin. He had a bad night last night, but he's been putting up great numbers. Other than that, other than last night, he played bad. You see 55, 66. He had 82. I think that was the 50-point game he had. He has that upside, especially against the Hawks, who are just awful this year. Kind of a mid-value play. It's not even mid-value. He's near the top, but I like Tatum here against Utah. Tatum's been struggling a little bit this year. You see, he doesn't have that upside he used to have, but I think he could play good against Utah. He'll be getting a lot of minutes. It'll be a close game. I think he'll have the ball in his hands a lot, just because they rely on him a lot, him and Kyrie. So I'd like Tatum tonight. And then we'll go to a low value guy. This is what I call my low value lock of the night. Derek Favors against Boston. Favors has just been playing lights out recently. And at his price tag, 4,600, he has 30, even 40-point upside, as we can see right here, 36. I like Favors. He's been on a tear recently, which sometimes I don't like because, they're bound to drop off at some point. But at this low of a price tag, I think it's just stupid not to go with Favors. So that's a play you can look at. And then center, I like Jokic at 9,200 going against Brooklyn, who inside, as we know, is one of the worst teams in the league. And the thing that I like about Jokic is his triple-double potential. We know he has it. He hasn't been scoring the ball great, but you see he has that potential. 16 assists as a center. That's almost unheard of. And we know he has the potential. He had 35-point triple-double a couple weeks ago, actually on my birthday. But yeah, so Jokic is a great play, like I was saying, against Brooklyn. And then middle of the lane, I like Rudy Gobert tonight. Just seems really cheap for Gobert, 7,700. He's averaging 42. Gobert's not a great scorer, as you can see, but he'll almost always get you at least 10 rebounds every time. I can't see a time he hasn't gotten you 10 rebounds here. If he gets you, like, say, 25 points, 20 points even, he could be, in that 50-point range. So I like Gobert. And then a low play that I like Mason Plumlee. I always get the Plumlee brothers confused because there's like 2 or 3 of them. But yeah, I like Mason Plumlee tonight because I believe, Millsap is questionable. I was reading up, he might play, but he's questionable. I think he twisted his ankle or something with his ankle. So I think that Plumlee could be a good play at only 3,800. You're not taking a huge risk, but I think even if he gets, say, 20 points, that's more than giving you his value. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be